Recently, Russian forces conducted a massive push to cut off Ukrainian supply lines to Pokrovsk and starve out the defenders. However, Russians quickly got stuck in fortifications that guard the back of the Ukrainian defense line, with intense close-quarters battles breaking out, Euromaidan Press media outlet said. In the latest adjustment of their summer offensive, Russian forces are now concentrating their efforts on encircling Pokrovsk from the east. Despite being initially promising, the failed encirclement efforts from the west and unsuccessful infiltration attempts from the south were both successfully pushed back by Ukrainian defenders. Ukrainians improved their tactical standing, stalling further enemy momentum, which changed Russia's strategy toward targeting logistics on the western flank. However, the same cannot be said for the eastern flank. After making headway there, Russian forces rapidly shifted their focus to this sector, capitalizing on their momentum to push deeper and reach the strategically vital settlement of Rodynsk. Euromaidan Press says their objective is now clear: cut supply lines, threaten Pokrovsk and Myrnohrad from behind, and force the Ukrainian defense into a semi-encircled position. Rodinsk has emerged as a focal point in Russia's operational plan due to its position directly behind Pokrovsk and Myrnohrad, which allows it to serve as a logistical and tactical keystone for both towns. Capturing it would open a dangerous axis of advance from the rear, collapsing supply routes and placing additional pressure on Ukrainian units holding the line. For now, however, the main Russian effort remains squarely focused on breaking Ukrainian resistance in Rodinsk. The fierce battle for the settlement has already begun, with high-intensity engagements playing out on its eastern approaches. Overall, Pokrovsk remains the hottest section of the front line and the focal point of Russia's summer campaign. The Russians are determined to establish a foothold in the paved neighborhoods before the fall rains make any approach on soft ground impossible, and their pivot to the east has already yielded dangerous momentum. Yet this shift is now being met with fierce Ukrainian resistance centered on Rodinsk, quickly growing to be of extreme importance. Euromaidan Press says its defense is about protecting the entire Pokrovsk-Myrnohrad sector from collapse, as if Rodinsk falls, the door to encirclement opens. For now, however, Ukrainian forces are holding, fighting from house to house and striking back with every tool available. The battle is far from over, but the outcome in Rodinsk may well decide the fate of Pokrovsk.
U.S. President Donald Trump left Washington on Friday morning to meet Russian President Vladimir Putin in Alaska at a U.S. military base for a crucial summit. According to Associated Press, Trump flew out of Joint Base Andrews for Friday's meeting in Anchorage that could influence the war in Ukraine and European security. Trump aims to showcase his skills as a dealmaker. For Putin, it's a chance to negotiate terms that favor Russia. The summit excludes Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenski, which could undermine Ukraine's interests. Trump has expressed hopes for a broader peace deal, but success is uncertain. The meeting's outcome could have significant implications for international relations and U.S. diplomacy. Kiev has repatriated 84 more Ukrainian prisoners of war from Russian captivity as part of the prisoner exchange mediated by the United Arab Emirates, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky announced on Thursday. Among the returned hostages are both military personnel and civilians, almost all of whom require medical assistance and long-term rehabilitation, Zelensky said. Released civilians include those who have been held by the Russians since 2014, 2016, and 2017. Among the military personnel are the defenders of embattled Mariupol city that was seized in the first few months of the war that started in February 2022. The Russian Defense Ministry also announced the repatriation of its 84 prisoners of war from Ukraine's captivity. It should be noted that the previous prisoner exchange between Russia and Ukraine took place in June, following the agreement reached at the second round of direct talks in Istanbul. Officials in California say firefighters are battling a wildfire along Interstate 5 north of Los Angeles. According to Associated Press, the Angeles National Forest said Thursday morning that the King Fire is burning about 400 acres with 5% containment near Smoky Bear Road along the freeway in northern Los Angeles County. Officials say one recreational vehicle park in the area is sheltering in place and an evacuation warning is in place for another. The Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department says no mandatory evacuation orders are in place, but nearby residents are being warned to be prepared to evacuate. The Sheriff's Department says the freeway is closed in both directions in the Castaic area.